Hi everyone, welcome to your reading for Sagittarius. So on these readings, we're going to focus on those sober souls, those in recovery, those that are healing from past traumas and are really trying to find their soul's path. And as I was doing research on your zodiac sign for Sagittarius, and just looking at all the different elements of light and shadow, and then also the ways that you can use your astrology to better your soul's path. It was very interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to each one of the videos for you, Sagittarius, as we dive deeper and deeper each week into the astrological ways that you can improve on your soul's journey by finding out just more and more about your actual zodiac sign. So let's go ahead and get started. Your major arcana card is Temperance. So mixing one thing into another, taking what the divine can give you and giving it back into the earth. And like I said, there was things that I found out through your research, through my research for you, that were just very interesting. So, and one of the things that I researched for you, I've recently done. So the experience of one of your tools for astrological healing, we're just going to touch on it now because I just found it so interesting. Because it has helped me, is for spiritual growth, looking into your past lives to kind of help your soul on the path that they are on right now. I recently did that, and it's very interesting to know some of the things that you're going through in this lifetime and things that you've gone through in your past lifetimes that kind of dictate things now. It kind of makes it a little bit easier to be like, okay, let's go ahead and move forward this way, knowing what we know. So knowledge is power, and you're definitely on a spiritual journey as a Sagittarius, as we all are. But there was just a few things that stick out to me tonight as I was researching. So again, looking forward to each week getting deeper and deeper into your astrology. And here again is your Temperance card. So the cards that I'm going to use today they lean into your sign, they lean into your element, and your element is fire. Makes sense. So we are going to start the reading off with an oracle card. And this one is the Light Within Oracle. So we're going to start with a message and go from there. So as always, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If this message resonates with you, fantastic. If it doesn't, just leave it where you found it. If it resonates for someone else that you know, please feel free to share the video. I would appreciate that very, very much. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And your message. Wealth. Wealth flows to me easily and effortlessly from many sources continually. Golden opportunities enrich every area of my life. I am aligned with abundance and energy. And our next oracle message is unstoppable. I am unstoppable. When my legs get weary, my inner strength will rise and I will run with my heart. So that is the energy that we're taking the reading in. Let's go ahead and start with our Galactic Star Tarot cards. Oh, wow. Hold on one second. Let's calm these down for a minute. All right, so let's take a look at the energy that Sagittarius is in right now, and we will go from there. So these cards are pretty new for me. They're a little lighter than my normal cards, so they shuffle definitely a little bit differently. But I do love the imagery on there. I love the feelings that we get when we use these cards because of the imagery and the energy. They're very energetic today. And I understand because I am kind of excited to get started on this this reading. So we're gonna go from here. The Lovers. Aw, gosh, what a beautiful card. So we're gonna let that sit for a moment. The Lovers. We have the King of Wands. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the Five of Wands. Wow. We have the Five of Cups. We have the Ten of Swords. Oh, and you have the World. and you have the Hierophant. And I laugh because I'm a Taurus and I'm the Hierophant. So I love when my card makes an appearance. But let's take a look at where you're at right now, shall we? So the Lovers card, the King of Wands, we have the Seven of Wands and the Five of Wands. So it feels like you're definitely on an emotional journey right now. And let's see how you look at emotional journeys. Your light traits are optimistic, adventurous, wise, freedom, loving, and honest. Your shadow traits are restless, blunt, non-committal, escapist, self-righteous. And sometimes you can do these self-sabotaging ways, just simply when life feels limiting. You feel closed in, and when you want to run away from those feelings, you tend to kind of maybe lean towards behavior that is self-sabotaging or substance abuse and things like that. So that's why these messages are really geared towards those sober souls, those that are on the path to healing and sobriety. So we're going to take a look at this reading in that way. So with that said, the Lovers and the King of Wands, the Seven of Wands and Five of Wands, it's a progression, but it's a progression that typically in the Rider-Waite-Smith kind of looks a different way. And so for me, it just feels like kind of this calm and this peace in your life right now with the Lovers and the King of Wands. The King of Wands, he's very ambitious and very drawn to knowing that he is in control. He is more in control than I feel other suits, even the King of Swords, because he's got that ambition and that drive. And with our Lovers card here, it definitely feels like you're at a place where the relationship situation that you're in, you're having to feel like you have to stand your ground and be defensive. It kind of feels like everything is coming at you all at once right now. And so if that is the situation for you where it feels like everything is coming at you all at once for the situation that you're in, let's take a look just really quick. Your tools for healing as a truth seeker. So whatever the situation is, everything's coming at you all at once. A Sagittarian wants to just find the truth. They want to find the reality of the situation before going towards those substances or those behaviors that can be self-sabotaging. So when those things happen, I feel like this is the situation and this is the way to look at it. And so that's how we're going to take this right now, because that's just what I feel. I feel like, okay, here's the situation. It has to do with a relationship where you may have thought that this person was your King of Wands. He was the one that drove forward with everything. But it feels like you're at a time where things have gotten really chaotic. You're having to be defensive and stand your ground. It feels like with a Sagittarian, they're truth seekers. And so they just want to know the truth. And let's get some clarification on this top row before I dive into the second row. So we're going to use the Rider-Waite-Smith to just clarify a couple of situations. So we're going to clarify the Seven of Wands first. I just want to know, are you having to be defensive over a situation for a relationship? What do you want to tell me about the Seven of Wands? Why is the Seven of Wands here? I love a good tower moment. So when a tower moment happens, and as a truth seeker, the Sagittarian that you are, something has definitely happened for you where what you believed wasn't possibly the reality. So you've had to become defensive over the situation. And the situation has just become extremely chaotic. And so it has brought you to a tower moment. So let's take a look a little bit more about this tower moment of the Seven of Wands, where you had to become either defensive about where you stand, or there's somebody that's having to be defensive about where they stand, but you're at a tower moment, which makes sense why you've got the Five of Wands. And there's a lot of chaos in my ears right now. So let's clarify that tower moment. What brought on the tower moment, or what's bringing on the Five of Wands? What's bringing on the Five of Wands? That's what I want to know. What is your Five of Wands moment? Your Five of Wands moment is being clarified by the judgment call. So you're being asked to stand up and So with the Judgment card, I'm just going to hold it up here for a minute so you can resonate with the card too. It is your higher self that is trying to give you a message that things have become too chaotic. And so you need to seek the truth. As a Sagittarian, to be able to calm yourself down, you need to be able to seek the truth, because that's where you thrive. That's where you're driven, is like, I want to know the truth. And the truth is, you're in a tower moment. Something has happened that you have had to become defensive, or the situation has become defensive. And the Page of Swords. So our Page of Swords just wants to cut to the chase. He wants to move on to like the knight and the king. But it's just like literally, I feel like you want to know, what is the truth? So that makes sense, because you're a Sagittarius, and we're diving into your astrology and the way that you can use it to your benefit, and the way that you've had to journey through the shadows as a Sagittarian. It's that truth that you're seeking. So you're really looking for that truth and that clarity. And with that Judgment and the Five of Wands, it feels like that's the situation you're in right now, is you're asking for it to be cut. Like, I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's happening. And this is important, because that self-sabotage can happen when you're feeling like life's limiting you, and you can kind of lean into substances at that point. But when we're on our sober path, we want to know how we get ourselves out of those thoughts, those feelings, and those ways. Is there anything else you want to show me about the Judgment card? It's to pause. You need to take a pause for just a moment, and you need to reassess the situation as it is. Because when you pause, especially like when we're in recovery, one of the things we're taught is that pause. Take that moment, be the hanged man for a minute. And it's okay, Four of Pentacles, to kind of like be in those thoughts. Like, take every little thing that's happening and just think how it makes you feel from within. How do you feel from the inside? So with this situation at hand, where you're in a tower moment, you're looking for that clarity, you're curious about some situation that's happening right now. What Spirit really wants you to do is they want you to listen to your higher self in the chaos. So taking some time to meditate. I did come up with a mantra for you. It is, healing begins with me, not outside of me. So healing begins with me, not outside of me. So it feels like this situation is outside of you. It feels like you're definitely in a tower moment. You're looking for that clarity. If you slow down, you can hear your intuition telling you things, different directions that you can go. But when those different directions kind of come up as a Sagittarian, you're really seeking the truth. So what you need to do is you need to pause, like the hangman. You need to ask yourself, what are you holding on to? That's literally what I heard. What are you holding on to right now? So as we move through the situation, as I said before, I felt like this was the situation and this is the moving forward. The Five of Cups, I think this card probably has made an appearance in every one of the readings that I've done today. And so collectively, I think that it is definitely a time that we have to recognize where our focus is. We don't need to focus on what didn't work or what happened. So I believe this is a nod, and I literally feel it in my heart so strong. It just feels like a fire in here right now, that this situation, whatever it is for you, you're in a tower moment, and it may be best for you to let go and back up and move on. Because if you do, and you can, it feels like that is going to be the end of that cycle. It's going to be the end of that situation. And what's coming next is the world. The world is at your fingertips right now. It's the completion of a cycle for you. So whether it's a relationship with a human being, or if it's the relationship that you had with past behaviors, because that very well could be what this is that this is all a relationship with the past behaviors. It could be that the Lover's card is the obsession that you had with somebody or with somebody, and then here's that Tower moment. So whether it's a physical being or it's the the surrender that we need to do when we get to that point of sobriety and healing and recovery. And then we have that tower moment, and it's how we move on from the tower moment. And we don't dwell on what's no longer serving us. We move forward, we move ahead, because that's going to allow us to complete the cycle. That's going to complete it right here with the World card. And then here's our Hierophant. And I literally just keep hearing, and what did you learn? And because as a Sagittarian, that's what you want, right? You want the truth. You want to know, what can I learn to move forward? And so the other little notes that I wrote down for you guys today are: find ways to channel your restlessness. So if all of this is causing restlessness and chaos, journaling, spiritual growth, again, like I said, looking into past lives can help you navigate the path that you're on right now. But let's take a look with the Rider-Waite Tarot again. What does the Five of Cups want us to walk away from? What does the Five of Cups want us to walk away from? And I'm going to just show you again, probably all of these cards, just the illustrations in them are so fantastic. And so use your own intuition too. Whoever you watch as a reader, what messages do you get from the cards? Because we can all do this. We all get messages from the cards. Different symbols stick out for us. And especially as a Sagittarian that is a truth seeker, you are very intuitive. So when you see these cards, you know, what messages stick out for you? But let's take a look at, we're going to ask Spirit to show us, why is the Five of Cups here? Why is our Five of Cups here? Why is our Five of Cups here? This one, Ace of Wands. So it's showing you that though you are saddened by something that's happened, this is what it's going to gift you, is the ambition and the drive to move forward, that spark, that clarity from above. That's why that Five of Cups situation has happened. And so if we could just shed a little bit of light, what's happening? We could just shed a little bit of light on our Ten of Swords. Why is the Ten of Swords here? So this is the Four of Swords. And so now that that cycle is done, that completion, this has occurred, evolved. Your Ten of Swords time, I feel like this is for both the World and the Ten of Swords. It is for you to have that time of rest. Even though when you get restless, things get chaotic for you, go ahead and take that time to rest. Take that time to journal. Take that time to seek the truth within on how that feels. Because again, the Hierophant, he's just sticking out in my head as, what have you learned? What have you learned? And so let's just go ahead with one more tarot card from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck for the Hierophant. And I just want to get another card for you to help let me tell them an additional message of what they've learned. This is the Moon card. And our Moon card can mean so many things. So, what have you learned? The illusions. So, let's take a look at your notes here. Because the illusions that I feel are the lessons. Because you're a truth seeker. So, I just really definitely feel like with the Moon card, you have the Five of Cups card again. And that's why I love using two different decks to clarify one deck, because when it's another message with the same card, that's the lesson right there. It's the Five of Cups. What have you learned? You've learned to take what you still have and go ahead and walk away. Sometimes as a truth seeker, you'll seek and you'll seek and you'll seek. And what you really need to do, what you're being asked to do, especially when you're in recovery, is just take that pause and surrender. So that, I feel like, is the lesson that the Hierophant and these lessons are trying to teach you, is to take that moment, take that time to pause and surrender, because it's the Five of Cups situation. And I can't say how I really feel about the Five of Cups because YouTube would ban me, but it's really a time of walk away. Just walk away from the situation. Don't be in the illusions. Don't be in the fog. Just realize that you can keep going forward on your journey because of the life lessons that you've learned. So that is the message that Spirit has for you. So we're going to go ahead and get a message from this deck. And I don't know what to call this deck. I got it from Etsy. It just says Mahrukx. I call it an oracle deck. I'd like to name the deck. So if you have a name for this deck after you get the message, if something resonates with you, go ahead and put it in the comments, because I would like to have a name for this deck. But I want to use it to give you another message from above. So I'm just going to ask for 2 cards as a final message for this reading for Sagittarius. And again, every week we're going to go deeper in. And I think you guys are going to be one of the most interesting zodiac signs to look up, because I could have wrote 2 or 3 pages out, but I didn't want to keep you here for hours and hours. But I think each week it's just going to get deeper and deeper. And I love that, because when we have some information on who we really are astrologically, because we're all energy, I really do think that it will benefit us, especially on the path to recovery and sobriety and all of that. So 2 messages for you. You got the crescent moon. As the moon grows, so can your wealth, health, and happiness. Stay positive. Absolutely. Stay positive. Up in the air. The situation has many unknown elements due to the influence of others. Absolutely. That would make a lot of sense. This card with the 5 of Wands, this card makes a lot of sense. Let's read that one more time. This situation has many unknown elements due to the influence of others. And that's okay. So again, those are the messages for today. We will revisit your sign next week. But until then, thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.